we'll start with Amanah. Why did you join Amanah?
No, I didn't join Amanah. We are the initiators of Amanah. Yes, the Central Council. They are all. We got together, and decided to form this NGO. No, it is an NGO, but as you can see from the pro tem Central Council members, we are all very experienced. We have been there. We have been ministers, or we have been. Like Ong Siu here, he has been CEO of a bank and so on. So we are experienced people and whatnot. All right, but we thought that there's something missing, something wrong, the way the country is moving. For example, suddenly, we find issues of race and religion becoming very prominent. It should actually be in forgotten long time ago. We are more than 50 years, independence. So, and also corruption, is the incidence of corruption. We hear about it everywhere. Cronyism, red tape. These are problems, even which the government itself is talking about it all the time, and of course they also make announcements how to overcome them. Unfortunately, it's not happening on the ground. Not happening on the ground. That's why we thought that we form an NGO, and then we'll do something about it to rectify, to help the government to rectify these things.
No, I think a lot of the questions are asking is that why most of you are party members. For example, some of you are with UMNO, then we got some with MCA and all that. So why not go through party channels instead? And why do you need to establish an NGO to fight for this thing?
Yeah, the thing is, a lot of us have no more positions in the party. In fact, 2/3 of our members have no party at all. 2/3 of the Central Council members have no party. Ong Siu, for example, he has no party. Only a few of the prominent ones you can see we are still members. I am still hold positions in UMNO, and the rest also they have various positions. But some or other we feel all the component parties of BN, some or other over the years we have deteriorated a bit. We were very much freer, to discuss things, to debate things within our party. At the earlier days of independence, during Tengku, Tun Razak, Tun Hussein on times especially, we are very free. There's a lot of room for dissent. That doesn't mean we are disloyal to the party. But, the task of running a country is memang complicated. So naturally there are a lot of opinions that we should actually encourage that. And we had a lot of that during the early years of independence. I started with Tunku Abdul Rahman, so I know it. And because we had dissent, we allowed freedom to debate and so on within our own party. And actually we come up with very good policies, and people were implementing those policies very, very well. And we had great success, and we managed to lay this strong foundation, that this present generation are building on, you see. But some or other now, within our own party, I find that there is very little room for dissent. I don't think they will like it if we suddenly have different opinions about certain things and so on. So once we're in an NGO, we are out of it. We are very much freer. The moment you start having a different view, then you're a bad boy.
The other question is, Tan Sri, is that on the day of the launching itself, Amanah or did not explain how do you aim to achieve all these objectives. I mean, they are appealing objectives, but how do you plan to achieve this?
Okay, naturally all these things will come soon. That was the announcement. We are not even registered yet, So on that day, one day before that, we have submitted our application for registration to the Register of Societies. And that day we just announced our pro tem Central Council members, and in Tengku Razali's speech and in my own speech also, you roughly would understand what we are trying to achieve. We are trying to, for example, ensure that everybody is reminded that this country belongs to the rakyat. People forget that. The fact that you are suddenly you become a very rich man and you have power and this and that, that doesn't mean that you can do anything you like. This country belongs to the rakyat. Everybody should be conscious of that all the time, which means that the government money, government's money is also the rakyat's money, which means that all along you should be conscious, of what the rakyat will say. I remember the old people, for example, Tan Sri Senu. I quote a name, Tan Sri Senu. He comes from Kedah. I was close with him. I am from Kedah also. Tan Sri Senu, his favorite word, tak boleh tu, apa rakyat nanti kata? Apa rakyat nanti kata? What will the rakyat say? Throughout his career, that is one of his standard sentence. All the time, very conscious of, what will the rakyat say? Tak boleh lah macam tu, apa nanti rakyat kata? So always conscious, what will the rakyat's reaction? Will the rakyat support it? Will the rakyat be happy? Will it be advantageous to the rakyat? Is this the best way that we do for the next generation of rakyat and so on? So we're very, very conscious about the rakyat-centric. And that's why we have our founding fathers, Tengku, Tun Razak, Tun Dr. Smail, Khair Johari, Senu Abdul Rahman, and you can have long list of other people, Sambandan. All these people, when they died, we know what money they have. They could have made millions and millions, but they didn't. They know tak boleh. Tak boleh. It is in their blood and flesh and soul, Cannot. You can't abuse your position. You can't use your position to enrich yourself. Cannot. It's the rakyat's money. And what will rakyat say? You have to appear to be clean. Not only enough to be clean, you have to appear to be clean. And we know when they have died, they passed away, these people who laid this beautiful, strong foundation for our country, they have nothing. Tengku doesn't even have a home. We had to rescue his real house that he owned in Alostar. We had to get the archive department to buy it, and then baru kita repair it. And from that money, the family used to buy about 2 or 3 semi-D and so on for Tengku's grandchildren and so on. Tengku, Tun Dr. Smail, he had children, and we know the children. If Tun Dr. Smail has been corrupt, the children will all be doing very well now. No, they are struggling for a living. Similarly, Tan Sri Senu. Tan Sri Senu, and I was told even the word Malaysia came from his mouth. And he was struggling for independence before UMNO was born. Before UMNO, he was already there. So, people forget that, that this country belongs to the rakyat, and every single cent that the government collects also belongs to the rakyat, and we cannot abuse that money. So we hear a lot of stories about wastage, about leakage, about corruption, and things like that. So these are the kind of things, naturally, if we start voicing out within our own party, there will be a lot of unhappiness and so on. But so a few of us got together. There are certain things, for example, respecting the rights of the people, fight against corruption. It cuts across, politics, race, religion, and so on. It's common to all. That's why in our Central Council, we have people who are formerly members of the BN component parties. They are also members of PAS. Our youth head, for example, head of our youth section, Wan Saiful, he's a member of PAS, card-carrying member of PAS. But you know, he's the new face of PAS, very highly educated, westernized, you know, really believing in liberal values and so on. And we have Datuk Sri Daniel Tajem, who is representing the Dayak community. He's an advisor to PKR in Sarawak, you know. So but we are not conscious of that at all. Just that a few like-minded friends getting together to do something so that our country can go back to its where we started and where we should be.
Okay, that's right. Okay, without revealing the means or the ways of trying to achieve the objective, it's a natural thing for people to speculate that Amanah is trying to lead or be a third force. Would you agree with this?
No, but definitely we want to be a national movement, and we really want to have an impact, you know, on the government, impact on the rakyat. That we really have. But if we want to be a third force and so on, we might as well straight away register ourselves as a political party. But that's not in our calculation. Now we just want to do good. So I'm quite sure once we are in, you know, in our full momentum, I wouldn't be surprised the government might be even grateful to us. The government might be really be grateful to us once we start the momentum and so on.
How would you rate the Najib administration?
Well, he has been making a lot of good statements, good announcements, but unfortunately, it's not happening on the ground. So if I were him, I've stopped for a while because there have been too many announcements, mind-boggling actually. He should stop for a while and see whether it's properly being implemented or not. I think there, when he really goes down and looks into that aspect, he'll find that he has a serious problem. How to get it all implemented. Not only implementing the various projects we're talking about, for example, the fight for corruption and so on. Sometimes all these noises, criticism and so on, it might do good. He himself is now beginning to talk already that I want to be a prime minister which the whole world will accept as being truly elected by the people. So he's also beginning to talk now. Yes, I want to make sure that the election process is truly clean. He made this kind of statement last few days and so on. You know, so it's not enough just to be clean. It must be seen to be clean, heard to be clean. That's very, very important. I'd be even happier if he starts engaging the opposition parties and really discuss. Better still, as Nazri Tan Sri Aziz suggested, that the wakil-wakil representative from the opposition parties also are put as members of the election commission. Why not?